Inside Michigan Football is presented by Meyer.
Hi again, friends, and welcome to another edition of Inside Michigan Football. From the friendly confines of Wrigley Field, Doug Karsh and John Jansen. Woo!
Yeah, I know. Are we allowed to exhale now?
We're going to start at the end. Michigan has the football with a chance to win the game, and they had 3 third-down conversions, and the biggest one was the first one to Andrew Marsh.
Yeah, and I mean, just think about this. He had such a big day, and we'll talk more about that, but the ability to extend and the ability to, Jason said it on, you got to have guys that are just built for moments like that. And Andrew Marsh is developing into that guy that is just built for moments like that, to make a play, keep his feet in bounds, when everyone in the field knows that ball is going to number 4.
21 yards, and it moved the chains for Michigan. Here's another third down conversion. It's 3rd and 5, and Bryce runs for it and gets Michigan into makeable field goal range.
You love his awareness, and I like that in the second half, especially in the fourth quarter. They started, rolling Bryce out. Protection wasn't great. They got a clear view of the field, and whether he was going to deliver it, he had a great view of, hey, no one's open. I'm going to pick up the first.
And then this last first down, Bryson Kuzdal and the whole scrum get the first, and this took away any chance Northwestern had to get a response. Michigan could walk it off.
Yeah, and it's the initial push by the offensive line. It's Bryson being able to, the awareness of making sure he had possession of the ball, and then it's that last final push that gets him over the hump.
It was 11 plays and 45 yards. Dominic Zavada was good.
Yeah.
And Michigan celebrates.
He set this one out of the stadium.
Yes. So let's go to the beginning of the game, however. Michigan's first drive, Bryce got in a rhythm early, 5 for 5 on the first drive.
Yeah, and it was just quick passes. And I mentioned it before the game. I really felt like this defense was one where you could take some of those quick passes, whether it was Marsh, McCulley, it didn't matter who it was going to be the same as a 4-yard run. So get a little confidence in your quarterback, and they did that early.
A couple sacks set him back, and then a hold wiped the touchdown off the board, which was unfortunate, but it's kind of the day it was for Michigan. A lot of shoot themselves in the foot.
Yeah. I didn't see this one as shooting themselves in the foot. They got shot in the foot by the official.
Missed field goal. So Northwestern gets it back, and the Wolverines force a punt. And a great catch by Griffin Wilde here. They overturned it. And so Michigan gets the football back, and here we go again. Andrew Marsh, a couple of slants to get the offense going.
Yeah, and it was that rhythm that the offense had by being able to get him the ball. They built some confidence, and the run game wasn't there. Protection wasn't there. So what are you going to try and do? Again, it's quick passes. Get the ball out of Bryce's hands quick.
Okay, so the Wolverines get it down into scoring range. This pass to Andrew Marsh put Michigan on the doorstep, and Jordan Marshall takes it in for a 7-0 lead.
It's just another case of Jordan Marshall being a battering ram.
All right, ensuing drive, Northwestern with the football, and let's go to Jansen Vision.
Yeah, in this first one, we talked about the defense and how good these guys were going to have to be up here, and this is Trey Pierce. I want you to watch 95 right here. He's going to take on a double team between center and guard. The reason he's able to defeat this one is because he extends his arm and he takes the outside half of this center. I'm going to go ahead and let it play out here. And as he does, he splits the double team, sheds the block, and makes the play. And that was a 2-yard gain, but that's what you got to have from your defensive tackles.
Michigan did a great job against the run, holding Northwestern to 61 yards rushing. 3rd and 8, good coverage. Michigan with a big pass rush, and the Wolverines, unfortunately, on their ensuing possession, go 3 and out, and Northwestern gets some good field position. And they get the ball into the red zone, but the defense stiffens. And this is what made a difference, is Michigan's red zone defense forced FGAs.
Yeah, and I mean, you shoot at one point, they had 3 short fields and only give up 3 field goals. You're able to score touchdowns. That's the big difference in this game, is the defense's ability on a short field to stop them and only give up 3 points.
Michigan got the ground game going on their next possession with a 7-3 lead. And then there's this pass to Deacon Tonelli. Sometimes you're lucky. This ball gets deflected on the delivery, and Deacon Tonelli with a box out and a catch.
Right place, right time, and hey, first down is all you're looking for. It doesn't matter how they happen.
All right, let's go to Jansen Vision for this big block.
Yeah, and this is Jordan Marshall's 10-yard run, and the reason I'm highlighting it is because of the action. You've got Samaj coming in faking the jet sweep, and I want you to watch what it does to this linebacker, but I really want you to watch left guard Giovanni Al-Hadi as he pulls around. And I'm going to pause it here for just a second. As soon as Samaj comes around, this linebacker, he's coming out here, takes a guy out of the box. But highlight Giovanni Al-Hadi right here, and this is what we talk about. That is a dream for an offensive lineman to get a hit like that. That one's going to be highlighted come film session tomorrow.
All right, so a big third down conversion for Northwestern on their ensuing possession gets them into field goal range. And again, it's the Michigan defense, Jayshawn Barham and Rayshawn Benny with some big plays to force another field goal attempt and make it a 7-6 game at the half.
Defense was creating some penetration, and you had your linebackers. It was great to have Jimmy Rolder back, but being able to roam sideline to sideline was a key for this defense.
Well, the Wolverines took a lead in halftime. It looked like they could run away and hide, but they weren't able to do that. The dramatic second half when we continue from Wrigley on Inside Michigan Football.
To win a game like this, it just takes grit and resilience from offensive and defensive side of the ball. You know, defense gave us opportunities to score, and we maximized the most that we could, but we got a lot of stuff to work on.
Inside Michigan Football is brought to you by Meyer, presenting sponsor of the 2025 Michigan football season and proud supporter of hundreds of local sports teams across the Midwest. And by Michigan Medicine. There's a difference between an answer and a Michigan answer. To find your Michigan answer, visit michigananswers.com. So the Wolverines leading, but Northwestern gets the football to start the second half, and the defense immediately forces a punt.
Yeah, and you got to set the tone. Second half, the defense comes out, did what they did in the first half, and set the tone.
Bryce on 3rd and 7 here gets about 7.5.
Yeah, and that's all he needed. We saw Bryce. We've seen this over the last couple of games. He's doing a really nice job with his feet of deciding when to throw it, when to keep it.
All right, let's go to Jansen Vision for this next play.
Yeah, and this is the big run by Jordan Marshall. So what I want you to watch here is the block by Andrew Marsh. He's going to come over here. It's not going to look like a great block, but sometimes all you got to do is stop the feet of that defender. And then I want you to watch Max Bredesen. As he pulls around, he's going to seal everything on the inside. And it's even the handoff. You don't have to cut back. It's all right there, and I thought that this one was well blocked, well executed, and when you get 56 yards, there's a lot of reasons you can go back and look and say why.
Let's go to Jansen Vision again for this next play.
And so, hey, we just had that motion going across. Now we got one with Max Bredesen coming over this way, and this one I want you to watch. This guy right here, he's going to come up. That's who Bryce is reading. He's going to read that guy, and his momentum brings him so far in front. We all got fooled, and the reason we're going with the Sky Vision here is because they got fooled on TV as well. Everyone thought Bryson Cusdahl had the ball. He doesn't, and as this guy crashes down, that's who Bryce is reading, and there's no one out there to help.
All right, so the Michigan defense would force a punt, but unfortunately they'd turn it over on a fumble on the punt. But now we're back in the defensive red zone, and Wink Martindale's guys and Eno Etta get in the face of the quarterback. They force another field goal.
Yeah, and Eno, I mean, you look at this one, that's a big body in the face of the quarterback.
All right, Michigan with a 14-9 lead. First, Jordan Marshall goes for 6 yards, and then here we go with the pass game. Andrew Marsh and Donovan McCulley back-to-back 13-yard receptions.
And I mean, you look at there's a lot of commonality in these routes that they're running. They wanted to be able to pick apart this Northwestern defense. They knew that they could attack the corners. They knew they could get after them with some of the quick passes. Some of them were 4-yard ins, some of them were a little bit deeper at 7 yards. But I thought it was really nice of Bryce being able to see them and then deliver the ball to where they could catch it and still pick up some yards.
And the Donovan McCulley catch gets Michigan knocking on the door, and a couple plays later, Jordan Marshall gets in. This was a touchdown. They knocked it out after he crossed the plane, and Michigan led 21-9. And then probably the real disappointing drive the defense allowed. They allowed a long drive. This was not a short field as Northwestern gets back into the game.
No, but over the course of the game, we don't expect the defense to be perfect. No. Didn't think against this offense they would give up a 75-yard drive. They did. Now it's the time for the offense to try and respond.
Well, they tried to respond, and things went from bad to worse. Look, the turnover is something it's not, you don't have to be Vince Lombardi to figure it out. And the turnovers will hurt you. No,
turnovers are going to hurt you, especially when you're backed up. And, I mean, thankfully Bryce was able to make the tackle on the 6-yard line, but it was a bad decision by Bryce.
Okay, so Northwestern would capitalize. Now the Wildcats lead it 22-21. Wolverines start another drive. They're making plays on the ground. Jordan Marshall Actually, this is where he gets hurt, and Bryson Cusdall has to come in and give him some good hard running.
Tough position to be in, but his coach said after the game, hey, you're the third back at Michigan. You know at some point you're going to be called upon, and you better be ready, and Bryson was.
And then another turnover kills that drive, but the defense forces a 3-and-out, and here's Michigan again knocking on the door, and they fumble on a 4th-and-1.
The defense has really led this team. You knew at the end of the game they were going to, time started to become a factor, timeouts became a factor. To go ahead and force that 3-and-out, you thought, okay, hey, get the ball back, Michigan's going to do something.
Well, the defense would get the football back after the fumble, and that's when Michigan went on the game-winning drive as Dominic Zavada kicks it out of the stadium and into the street here at Wrigley.
And let's just talk about him for just a brief second, where in the first quarter you miss one that felt like it was a chip shot, and he struggled a little bit this year. You miss a 60-yarder, and everybody thinks, okay, well, we can put that on the fact that it was 60 yards. It was only a couple inches wide. But to have to come in a situation where the team absolutely needs you to win the game, that took a big set, and he showed what he could do.
We'll hear from Michigan head coach Sherrone Moore next on Inside Michigan Football.
Feels great just to be able to go out there, had the opportunity to go out there and win something like this. Coach always says it's not easy to win every week on the road, stuff like that. So just being able to go out there with the guys, the team, and go get that dub, it means a lot to us.
It's college football, so winners win. Even on the road, it's hard to win in college football in general. I'm sure you're going to see losses today that people are surprised about. You got to come with it every single week.
Shows you what kind of team we are. We don't stop fighting, no matter who it is, no matter what the circumstance is. It feels good to pull the win out like that, though.
Our conversation with the coach is brought to you by Maya.
What's the message to the team after a roller coaster game like this?
Oh my goodness, man. Proud of that we got the win. I mean, the difference is very simple. It's the turnovers and special teams, offensively. Those things, they can't happen. But you know what? Our team found a way to win, and not a lot of teams. Statistically, your chances, I'm guessing, are probably negative or in the teens or less than that. And for our guys to dig down deep as a team, it meant a lot to see them do that in that adverse moment.
So, the stats don't say you're going to win a game when you lose the turnover battle by 5. Have you been in a game, or have you coached in a game or played in a game where you've lost a turnover battle like this and still come away with a win?
Never have. This team is different. They're obviously, we talk about how young they are, but that doesn't really attribute to the turnovers. It's, things we gotta fix, and a little pressing. But I can't express how proud I am of just the fight. In college football, it's hard to win. It's hard to get a win in the Big Ten, and that's a good football team. They're not, they're 5-4, but that record is not, who they are. 5-5 now. They're a good football team. So for our guys to pull out that win was huge.
So let's talk about Andrew Marsh, obviously the star of today, with what he was able to do. And it was 12 catches, 189 yards on 15 targets. Just talk about how he has developed over the year. And was that a matchup you thought you were going to be able to take an advantage against this Northwestern defense?
Yeah, we wanted to get the ball to Andrew. He's shown in practice, he's shown through these 3 games, then, really the back half of the season that he's a playmaker. And he just continues to show up. He's a really good player for us. We got to keep getting the ball in different ways. But expected him, didn't know it'd be 12 for 189, but thought he'd have a good game.
Jordan Marshall, also another 100-yard performance. First of all, how is he? Now, I know he wasn't able to finish the game, but just talked about his performance as well.
Just gritty, violent, tough player, physical. We'll see how he is. I don't think it's too crazy bad, but, I'm not a doctor, so I don't ever try to make the decision. But he's, just an outstanding player, leader in the group, and love having him.
What type of conversation do you have with Bryce after throwing 2 interceptions? He knows he's got to go back out there and still make plays. How do you prepare him to go back on the field?
Yeah, you can't fluster him. You got to keep him calm. And the kid wants to be so good, and he is so good. He did some really good things. He made some great throws today. Just some decisions and some things that we got to get fixed and help him with. And I think he will. He's gonna. He was down about it, but he still played a really good game. Just got to clean up the turnover.
How tough was the kick at the end of the game? Because Dom Zavada missed one in the first quarter, missed a 60-yarder, and okay, we'll chalk that one up as a 60-yarder. But to be able to come in and hit the game winner. Yeah,
full trust in Dom. That 60-yarder had the distance, just wasn't on the right angle. We probably could have hit a field goal before that, but 4th and 1, you wanted to go for it and had a fumble on the exchange. So those things happen. But for him to come in there and the confidence for our team too, also for that was huge.
And the performance by Bryson Cusdahl, coming in at a situation where you can't fumble the ball, you're going to have to pick up yardage. Just talk about the position that he was put in and how he rose to the moment.
Yeah, being the third back at Michigan, you gotta always be ready to go because at some point in the season you're going to be needed. And he did it with flying colors. Very proud of Bryson, very proud of how he ran, and he's become such more physical runner. He's got the speed, but pretty proud of his performance.
The defense stood up at some critical times today, forcing field goals early in the game, and then when you had to get stops, the final 2 possessions for Northwestern were 3 and outs. Yeah. How big of a moment was that for the defense?
I mean, it was gigantic. I thought the defense, there was plays that happened. I think 17's a really good player for him and did some different things. The defense, I thought, played really well. I mean, they held them to 6 points in the red zone, twice. And then when they get the ball on the 5-yard line, it's, we're giving them, that's a very, very short field for the defense to defend. So overall, I'm very proud of our defense performance.
So I'll just ask you a personal question. The roller coaster of emotions, how did you manage it and where are you at right now?
I haven't caught up to where I'm at right now. When you're in that type of game, you're up, down. To get the win was huge. It talked about our fight of our team, but my mind was all over the place. But you got to stay calm in those moments because adversity is going to hit, so you got to keep rolling.
Congratulations, Coach, and best of luck as we get ready for Maryland.
Thank you, appreciate it. Go Blue.
Time for our Alro Steel Man of the Week, and it's this man, number 4, the freshman wide receiver, Andrew Marsh. 12 catches, 189 yards.
Just being able to have the opportunity to come out here, play in such a historic venue, have a great game, and really just something I look forward to.
For more on the Wolverines, here's Ed Kengerski.
It takes poise to close out a game the way Michigan did Saturday. After huge momentum swings against them in the fourth quarter, the Wolverines breathed deep and marched 50 yards in 11 plays to set up the game-winning field goal.
The drive felt crazy. I was really trying to think about it as just a 0-0 mentality beginning of the game. Obviously, knowing time was limited, knowing that we had to punch the ball in was big, but really just trying to keep my mindset at a level space.
What'd you see from your young quarterback on that last drive, especially knowing that there were a few turnovers today, but he seemed very poised in the moment?
I feel like it's something that we definitely work all the time, and really just being able to see him go out there and make the most out of it. Stay, like you said, be poised, be confident in the pocket. It really showed a lot. And then for him to be able to give me an opportunity to go make a play on the ball, I love it.
I feel like I just got to thank my teammates. They took the pressure off of my shoulders. They said, Bryce, you're good. We got you no matter what. The defensive side of the ball said that. Also the offensive side of the ball. So we just compliment each other as a team. So I'm glad that I got teammates like that.
How confident did you feel when you got the ball there in the end?
Excited. I feel happy because, my teammates gave me another opportunity, and opportunity is everything. We talk about taking and making the best of our opportunities every single day.
Dominic Zapata will walk it off, and Michigan survives at Wrigley.
Everybody was ready. There's nobody thinking that we're down, nobody thinking that we're not ready to go. We've been in situations like this before, and nobody was unconfident in what we were doing, so we just went out there and played hard.
Dominic Zapata is now 4 for 4 in the fourth quarter or overtime on game-tying or game-winning kicks. The guy you won at the plate in the bottom of the 9th inning. For Inside Michigan Football, I'm Ed Kengerski.
So, John, Wrigley Field, what an experience.
It was, from outside Wrigleyville and everything that it has to offer to inside. You and I both grew up watching baseball. This was a dream come true to be able to broadcast a game from here.
And let me tell you something, Michigan fans, they showed out. They packed this place.
Oh yeah, it was. I would estimate 75% Michigan fans. Everybody made the trip. The big contingent already here in Chicago, but this is one where, hey, if you could get a ticket, you wanted to come see Michigan play in Wrigley Field.
So I got a bad shoulder. I'm gonna need shoulder surgery, but it was worth every second.
Yeah, how'd my knuckleball look?
It looked good, man. That was dancing. You caught me off guard.
Yeah, Kaylee actually did a better job of catching that one than you did.
My daughter, yeah, right. Yeah.
Well, but how about it? The ability to come here where so much history has been made, to just be able to play catch, to say someday this is what we did.
Yeah, it was fun, and I think Michigan fans over here had a great time, and we had fun in the booth, and certainly the outcome made it better. Michigan on to Maryland. We'll have highlights of that game next week here on Inside Michigan Football. Inside Michigan Football is brought to you by Meijer.
presenting sponsor of the 2025 Michigan football season, and proud supporter of hundreds of local sports teams across the Midwest.